Good day everyone. Please feel free to browse and watch any other videos on this channel, and also don't forget to leave a donation. Today we look at the sizes of living things before the flood. Just to link the previous video to this one, I would like to give you something to think about. If you find a fossil in the ground, all you know about it is that it died. You do not know that it had any offspring. You certainly don't know if its offspring was any different than it was. And why would you think that a fossil of an animal you found in the ground can do something that animals today cannot do, which is to produce different kinds than themselves? I mean, chimpanzees are still reproducing. Why can't we watch it produce a missing link? See, evolution only happens in the imagination, never in reality. So where does the so-called Stone Age fit into the Bible? Well, I believe that when people got off the ark, they faced a really hostile climate. There was nowhere and no one to go to get your technology from, like hammers, knives, arrowheads, etc. It takes time to get the iron ore off and out of the earth and then smelt it down and make yourself some iron tools, which would mean that you would starve to death before you have the tools to hunt and so on. I think that they had to make do with stone tools in the meantime. It was probably like being shipwrecked on a big island. A lot of smart people with no modern tools and technology. Civilization had to be rebuilt. Did you know that there are some cultures today that still use stone tools? There might have been a small ice age directly after the flood. I will cover more on this in a later video. This would have forced people to follow the animals like nomads. To move so often meant that they had to abandon their stone tools every time they moved and then make new ones when they got to where they were going, as the stone tools would have been too heavy to move around all the time. So when the evolutionists find some cruder looking stone tools, they will say, look, these are from an older society. No, the people making them were probably in a hurry. So anyway, not only were people living longer and getting bigger before the flood, but so did animals as well. This is a hornless rhinoceros, 5.5 meters tall. People say that this is a prehistoric animal. I'm sorry, but there is no such thing as prehistoric. Did you know that word was added to the dictionaries about 100 years ago? Dr. Hovind researched this and found that the word prehistoric was completely absent back then. See, there are things that are pre-flood, but no such a thing as prehistoric. Pre-flood was different. Please look at my previous videos where we talk about the canopy theory. Increased air pressure and higher oxygen levels. These conditions would make animals grow much larger, especially the insects. See, insects' growth are limited today by the amount of oxygen in the air pressure. Some of them that live in oxygen-rich waters reach sizes 1,000 times bigger than their counterparts. Most insects breathe through their skin. If it increases in size, its surface area to volume ratio drops off. As it gets smaller in size, the surface area compared to the volume increases. This is why they simply cannot get to be huge sizes today. So how do we now explain the huge fossils, insects and so on that are found? Like this dragonfly with a 1.27 meter wingspan. Will the petrol attendant be able to wash this off your windshield after you hit it on the highway at 120 kilometers per hour? That is if you survive the ordeal. Here is a picture of a Madagascar hissing cockroach. And I think we can all agree that it is a pretty big fellow. Did you know that fossilized cockroaches have been found that are 45 centimeters long? You don't get pest control to deal with them in those days. You called the army. A fossil centipede was found in Germany that was 2.6 meters long. Fossilized grasshoppers were found, about 60 centimeters long. Imagine bringing this home to your wife to cook. Fossilized tarantula with a 92 centimeter leg span. Fossilized cattails have been found 18.3 meters tall. A fossil donkey was found in Texas, 2.75 meters tall at the shoulder. Buffalo horns have been found with a 3.7 meter span, indicating much larger buffaloes. 3.7 meter span deer antlers. 3 meter tall kangaroos have been found, and wombats the size of a mini. They found a goose as tall as an elephant and weighed half a ton. Fossil beavers have been found, 2.4 meters tall. A beaver's skull found in Ohio suggests the beaver it belonged to was 1.8 meters tall. I think that because the trees were bigger before the flood, you would need bigger beavers to cut them down. The same with everything else in that time. Salamander fossils found was over 2 meters in length. Now, remembering the canopy theory, it means that the water was also more oxygenated, and so fish got to be bigger as well. Now, usually, as a rough average, if the tooth of a shark is 1 centimeter long, the body is about 1.8 meters. Some megalodon teeth have been found, indicating that they were about 24 to 25 meters long. Dr. Bowell in Texas raised piranhas under hyperbaric conditions, and they grew to 4 times the normal size. Huge turtles are found all over the place. They found oyster shells 3.5 meters in diameter in the mountains of Peru at about 3.2 kilometers above sea level. 500 petrified oysters. Did you know that petrified clams in a closed position are found all over the world? Even on top of Mount Everest. I have to quote Dr. Hovind here. He said, "I would like to point out, Your Honor, Mount Everest is a little ways from the beach." Secondly, clams do not climb mountains very well. And thirdly, these clams were found in the closed position. So you see, when a clam dies, its shell opens up. The only way these were closed and petrified is if they were buried alive. But I do not think the water was over Mount Everest in its current position. Psalm 104 says that the mountains arose and the valleys sank down and the waters rushed off. But we'll cover more on this later. Lizards grew to enormous sizes. Did you know that lizards continue to grow all their life? So before the flood, when people lived to be 900 years old, how big do you think reptiles could get? Could we not now infer that dinosaurs were reptiles that got very big and lived in the same time as humans before the flood? The word dinosaur means terrible lizard, and I think this is true when some of them being 25 meters tall. I mean, didn't you ever wonder about the similarities between a Jackson chameleon and the Triceratops? I don't think that today's lizards will grow as big as dinosaurs if you let them live long enough, but then the conditions that support such large growth is also not present anymore. Dinosaurs and humans have been living together. I don't make this statement because I believe it to be true. I make it because there is proof of this fact. Dinosaur and human bones have been found together in Peru, South America, Russia, Lagoa Santa, Brazil, Mato Grosso, Ica, Glen Rose, Texas, and Charleston. Dinosaurs and mammals were found together. The Ica stones of Peru shows dinosaurs and humans together. Over 50,000 Ica stones were found. Since it has been found, there was a big campaign to try and make it look like fakes, but it did not hold water. These are clearly dinosaurs with people. Unfortunately, this is all we have time for this week, but we will continue with this topic next time, so be sure to watch out for the next installment. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to leave a donation. Instructions on how to do so will follow. God bless. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified of our next video. You can help us create better videos by leaving a donation on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thank you. We hope to see you next time.